Hello there, it's Trunk here. Welcome to the third and final part of a short series where we try to find out which EEVEELUTION is the best in Gen I. Last time we set the world ablaze with Flareon, however it wasn't powerful enough to unseat Jolteon as the king of EEVEELUTIONs. With our last EV we're going to use a Wet Rock and make a Vaporeon, and this time things are going to get pretty darn interesting. As with previous EEVEELUTIONs, one stat is higher than the rest, and this time it's HP. A weird one to increase more than the rest, but it does mean that Vaporeon is bulky as hell and will take a lot of killing. With the EV line's low base speed, this is quite nice and should increase Vaporeon's survivability. As with the other EEVEELUTIONs, we have some good special, and we've got some moves that will make good use of that. Looking at our starting moves, we have Tackle, Quick Attack, Sand Attack, and Water Gun, which is going to be massively important for the early game. Other than that, the moves we get from leveling aren't really that enticing. TM and HM moves are a lot more interesting. There's always Body Slam, but the likes of Bubble Beam, Surf, Ice Beam, and maybe even Blizzard are going to be vital for this run. There's also a world in which we grab Reflect, though we do get Acid Armor from leveling. I'm also hoping we'll be able to get to the end without having to use Mimic. Before we start, here are the rules. I can only use one Pokemon in battles, and that will be Vaporeon. I can catch other Pokemon for HMs, but I won't be able to use them in battle. Lastly, no items in battle. Well, let's get going. I replace Squirtle with Vaporeon and then destroy Bonk's Bulbasaur. We head to Viridian, grab the parcel, give it to Oak, get a Pokedex, then head to Pewter City through Viridian Forest. What is kind of important through all of this is I'm not actually fighting anyone that I don't need to. I want to take on Brock as quickly as possible. So when we get to him, we're only at level 6. Being half the level of Geodude would be scary if it wasn't for Water Gun, which takes it out in one hit. Then comes out Onix, and while Water Gun doesn't take it out in one hit, it only takes one extra one, and we're already done with Brock. Not at all surprising, but it does actually have me wondering something. Can Vaporeon beat all of Kanto with minimum battles? I actually think it might be possible. Well, we go through Mount Moon, and I'm pretty sure I've only fought mandatory trainers through here. Misty might be a bit too tricky right now, so I go for Bonk at level 14. Pidgeotto is hitting us hard, and we manage to eventually get through it with 16 HP left. Abra is, well, Abra, and I'm hoping to be able to do some good damage to Rattata, but it takes me out pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't think we're quite ready for this fight yet. I fight the mandatory trainer in Misty's gym and come back at level 15. Unfortunately, it's not really looking like it's going to work out. Our attacks just aren't strong enough. I'm not even getting to Bulbasaur, and I'm pretty sure that if I got there, I'd lose immediately. If we beat Misty, we get Bubble Beam, so maybe we should try that out. Well, the fight against her goes well enough. We lower Staryu's accuracy with sand attacks, then start smashing it with quick attack until we get through it with minimal damage. Starmie comes out, and we go for a similar strategy. Unfortunately, when it hits us, it hits hard. We manage to take out a good chunk of HP, but alas, it manages to hit too many times, and we're down. Still, I think this is a good sign, and it's totally doable. We go through a couple more unsuccessful attempts before finally getting to a good run, where Starmie is really struggling to hit us, and we manage to take it down. This gives us access to Bubble Beam, and I think this is going to really change up the fight against Bonk. We're now level 17, and Bubble Beam is doing massive damage to Pidgeotto. 2 hits, and it's down. Once we get through Abra, we find that Rattata still outspeeds us, but a single Bubble Beam defeats it. For Bulbasaur, I think we need to rely on it not hitting us. So Sand Attacks come out, and I'm a little bit scared by Leech Seed, but a crit Bubble Beam comes along, and we finish it off before anything too bad can happen. Alright, a bit of a blocker here, but it's pretty much all down to me trying to do stuff without too many battles. Now, while I think there's a possibility that Vaporeon could do this run at minimum battles, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to attempt it. I know, I sort of implied it earlier, but I really want Body Slam. I've grown to love this move, and I can't be without it. Also, seeing as I've nabbed that, I may as well get the Max Ether and the Rare Candy on the SS An. Alright, but after this, I don't plan on doing any battles that I don't have to. The next battle is Bonk again, and the fight gets off to a decent start. Bubble Beam does some good damage, but we're hit with 2 sand attacks, and yeah, I'm really not liking that. Hopefully we can power through it. Raticate goes down to 1 Bubble Beam, and next up is Kadabra. We go to body slam it, but then it disables our body slam and we do nothing. Marvellous. Oh, and then we just don't fancy hitting it for a bit. We finally take it out with quick attacks, and last up is Ivysaur. Body slam becomes available now, but we're struggling to hit Ivysaur at all. When we do hit it, we're clearly doing more than enough damage to destroy it quickly, but only if we're able to hit it. And we can't. And we're down. Alright, that was awful. Take 2 and Pidgeotto doesn't get a chance to sand attack. Kadabra tries to disable and fails, then Ivysaur Leech Seeds us, but 2 body slams deals with it. See? That wasn't a tough fight at all, we just had a bit of bad luck. Next up is Lieutenant Surge, who it might have actually been sensible to skip. His Pokemon are fast, but if we can get body slams in, we should be able to get through his Pokemon quite quickly. Also, why is Surge showing me his bum? He's a weird man. Anyway, Voltorb comes out and we hit it with a body slam. Then it uses Sonic Boom before we hit it again and we're through to Pikachu. I'm sort of amazed we're quicker than Pikachu and we make it faint with 1 body slam. Of course, Raichu should be quicker, and it is. It Thunderbolts us, but our high HP allows us to hold on and we take out most of its health with body slam. Situations like this is what quick attack is for, and it's done. Not too bad, honestly. Coming back later wouldn't have been a terrible idea, but it worked alright going there now. With him taken care of, we can now head through Rock Tunnel to Lavender Town and fight Bonk. Kind of messed up that he wants to fight us in a graveyard actually, but whatever. He's usually pretty easy here, and well, this is no exception. Bubble Beams utterly demolish Pidgeotto. Gyarados takes 3 body slams and does a bit of damage to us, but not enough for me to be too worried. The little fire dog is, well, a little fire dog and takes a single bubble beam to take out. We're hit by Kadabra's Confusion, but it's not too strong and body slam gets rid of it. Last up is Ivysaur. Body slam crits and does a ton of damage, and it seems that Vine Whip isn't doing much to us at all. 1 more body slam and we're through. Yup, nice and simple, like always. What might not be quite so simple though is Erika. Of course, we go off and grab Ice Beam before taking her on, but she's still a Grass-type trainer, so it's kinda scary. What's also scary is that Victory Bell goes first, but misses with the Sleep Powder and we hit with an Ice Beam. We then go first next time, so it must have been a speed tie and we take it out. Next up, Tangela, and we hit it with an Ice Beam and it's done in 1. We're already at Vileplume and things could go really, really poorly for us here, and it doesn't. Ice Beam hits it hard, it uses Petal Dance, removes about 1/3 of our health, and after that Ice Beam defeats it. So, yeah, not much to be worried about really. Kinda underwhelming in a way. Giovanni, on the other hand, won't be underwhelming. That's because I don't expect him to do much at all. Bubble Beam absolutely tears through his entire team, and we're done. Kangaskhan at least hits us once, but couldn't do anything against us. Thanks for coming, Giovanni. Now see you later. With that, we grab the Sylph Scope, re-identify Cubone's mum, nab the Poker Flute, then tell Snorlax to bugger off back to the men. Oh, bollocks, I shouldn't have fought it. Oh, God. Okay, that's an extra fight. I didn't need to do that one. Oh, well. Well, let's just go to Koga next. We're at level 37 and haven't healed, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. A couple of Bubble Beams takes out Coughing, but it manages to hit us with a Sludge before it goes down. Next up is Muck, and it keeps minimizing, and eventually Bubble Beams just take it out. The second Coughing comes along, and I hit it with a couple of Bubble Beams, and it hits me with Smog. Last up, Wheezing, and we might do this, but Sludge hits hard and poisons us. While we get close to taking it down, the poison is just too much, and we're done. I give the fight a couple more goes, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere, so let's go over to the rival in Sylph Company and see if we can get through him. Ice Beam takes down Pidgeot in 2 hits. Gyarados comes out next and hurts us a fair bit, but Body Slams paralyze it and eventually it's down. The little Fire Dog is there, and then it isn't. Alakazam comes out and makes me sad by disabling Body Slam, but we cobble together enough attacks to take it out with only 30 HP left. Unfortunately, that's just not enough, and Venusaur takes us out immediately. Now, you might be thinking, why didn't I just get Surf? I mean, that might help me with these fights. And the answer is, I don't know. Me am dumb small brain? Thankfully, I don't seem to need it because I'm stubborn. I go back down to Koga, and despite Coughing poisoning me, things go pretty well. It doesn't do too much direct damage to me, and then we're through to Muck. There's a bit of a to and fro and some annoying misses, and then we finally get through to the second Coughing with 74 HP left. A crit Ice Beam destroys it, and then we're through to Wheezing. I risk a Sand Attack because Wheezing can really hurt us if it hits. The RNG gods were looking down on me fondly though, and we freeze Wheezing with our second Ice Beam, and we are done with Koga. Quite the blocker, and I'm sure Surf would have helped a lot. Well, considering I'm here, I may as well get it, right? Right? Nah, let's just spend ages struggling against Bonk instead. I fought him 8 more times before I finally got through him. Honestly, why didn't I get Surf? Actually, I don't know how much it would have helped here. Regardless, I should have got it though. It could have helped us a bit. All of the fights that we go through are pretty similar to what we've seen before, though the final fight has some fun. When we get to Alakazam, it disables Ice Beam and then we get it back immediately. Pretty funny, especially as it tries to then disable again and fails. By the time we're through to Venusaur? Venusaur! Okay, in my script, I've written Venusaur. Okay, no. By the time we get through to Venusaur, we have a load of health, and when Vine Whip hits, I feel like we can survive an extra hit. A crit would kill us, but it uses Leech Seed instead, and we're finally done with Bonk. This has been the biggest blocker so far. I'm actually sort of terrified for the last rival fight in the champion battle. That's quite a while away though, so let's just focus on what's in front of us instead. And apparently, that's me remembering that Surf exists and grabbing it before we go and take on Giovanni. Do I need to say too much for this fight? Surf just takes out his entire team. Poor bloke must feel useless. I mean, it makes me feel good after such a tricky portion of the game, but man, he must be hurting bad. Speaking of tricky, Sabrina might be. She can hit hard, but our high HP and special might help us survive. Kadabra comes out and Psychic hits really hard, but we have over half our health left, so maybe we'll be okay. Body Slam doesn't quite take it out, but it does paralyze it, which allows us to finish it off. I use Surf on Mr. Mime, and then it uses Barrier, so one more Surf and we're through. I now have access to Acid Armor, and I opt to take it. That defense might prove really useful in the end game. Does mean giving up Sand Attack though, but I think it's worth it. Next up, Venomoth, and it starts off by stunning us, which is kind of terrible. Surf also doesn't do too much to it, so I go for Body Slam, which paralyzes it. One more hit and it's done. Last up is Alakazam, who could easily ruin our day. Goes for Reflect, but our Body Slam paralyzes it. Then it keeps using Reflect. Then it gets fully paralyzed. And we win. I have no idea what just happened, but I'll take it, I guess. Luck is on my side once again. I tell you where we won't need luck, though. Blaine. Like, what do you expect beyond just surfing the lot of them? It's like Giovanni earlier. Actually, it's tougher because they at least outspeed us, and the big fire dog takes 2 hits. Wow, much challenge. But what about Giovanni? Surf. It's all about surfing. One-hit surfs all day long. I mean, at least Nidoking outspeeds us and hits us with a Poison Sting. But it's all surfs otherwise. Then Giovanni comes out with, "That was a truly intense fight." Was it though? Was it really? You just sat there and got absolutely wrecked. Yeah, you'd better bugger off forever, you loser. Unfortunately, things then slow down for us a bunch after that. We have no other gym leaders and it's on to Bonk, and god do I struggle here. I mean, it's fine at first. Pidgeot is a single crit Ice Beam and done, though it would otherwise be 2 hits. 1 hit Surf for Rhyhorn and we're done with them. Gyarados is a bit scary, but Ice Beam works well enough against it. The little fire dog gets the surf treatment and it's done. So where's the difficulty trunk? Well, here we go. Alakazam is at a minimum a 2-hit KO, though it can use Reflect and make it take more hits. Psychic hits hard, but we can survive a few. Now, we're not too worried about getting knocked out by Alakazam, but rather we're worried about the state we're left in after Alakazam is defeated. Because next up is Venusaur, and it will do horrible things to us, like Vine Whip and Razor Leaf. Here, we're hit with 2 Vine Whips, and we're done. If it wasn't for Psychic having lowered our special, Ice Beam would have actually done some decent damage here. 2 should take out Venusaur, but we need to survive 2 of its attacks because it outspeeds us. We need to pray to RNGesus that we get to Venusaur with enough health to survive 2 Vine Whips. It hits only with Vine Whip, and neither are crits. Maybe Blizzard could be used here, but I doubt it would beat it in 1 hit. Plus, it's not a guaranteed hit. Eventually, after 5 failed attempts, we get the luck we've been after. It hits us with Vine Whip, we have loads of health left, we hit with Ice Beam, then we're hit with Vine Whip, and it's actually looking bloody frightening because that's a crit, but we just survive with 2 HP left and take it down. Way too close there, but we did it. And there we go. Through to the Elite Four with, well, not quite minimum battles, but a pretty low number of battles in total. I'm actually not sure if we could have got here without Body Slam. I think people who are better at this than I am could give that a go. I'd be really interested to see if that's possible. Speaking of the Elite Four, I'm not actually feeling that nervous about them. After chomping on some rare candies, we're facing Lorelei at level 56. Dugong is annoying as hell. We need a few body slams to take it out anyway, but it just keeps going to sleep and it takes loads of time. Ugh. Well, hopefully Cloyster is alright. It's not got particularly high special, so after a couple of surfs, it's down. Slowbro is also best dealt with via surfs, and we're done after 3. Jinx isn't taking too much damage from Body Slam, which I think might be thanks to Growls from Dugong, but Surf takes it down. Now we're up against Lapras with loads of health. It can't really hurt us much either. Sure, it confuses us, sure it paralyzes us, but it can't withstand our Surfs, and we've beaten Lorelei on our first try. There are some bits here that could go wrong, but I think things need to go really wrong to cause us any problems. Vaporeon's high HP is just so good right now. While she might have had some things that caused me a little bit of concern, Bruno doesn't worry me at all. Genuinely, I have no idea what he could do against me. Maybe Machamp is a 2-hit KO and it crits me, I don't know, let's see. Onix is Surf to death. Hitmonchan is Surf to death. Hitmonlee actually outspeeds us and we're hit with a Mega Kick, but then it's Surf to death. Onix 2, Surf to death. Machamp, as expected, survives a Surf, then hits us with Submission. That's fine though, and then it's Surf to death. Hitmonlee actually worried me a bit there. Huh, what a surprise, but it's unlikely that both that and Machamp will hurt us enough to take us down. This fight is always a winner. But here's the major concern. Agatha. I mean, Agatha's always a concern. Anything can go wrong at any moment. And that moment is now. Gengar kicks off with a Confuse Ray, and then we hit ourselves in confusion. We're hit with a Nightshade, and we respond with a Surf after snapping out of confusion. Gengar then tries to put us to sleep, which would have been a run ender, but it fails and we finish it off. Golbat comes out next, and that confuses us, and we hit ourselves again. We snap out of confusion and hit with an Ice Beam, but it doesn't do enough. Thankfully, Agatha just uses a Super Potion, and we take it out. Haunter tries to eat our Daydreams, and we hit it with a Surf. Then it tries to send us to sleep, fails, and we finish it off. Arbok next, and it bites us, then we surf most of its life away. It then spits acid on us, and we take it down. We're through to the last Gengar, and we don't have loads of health left. Then it confuses us for the 3rd time, and for the 3rd time we hit ourselves in confusion. And then, for the 3rd time, we snap out of confusion immediately. When Surf hits, it seems like it's gonna take about 3 hits to defeat it. We're then hit with Toxic and hit it back with another Surf. All we need is for Gengar to do, well, nothing to us, but it doesn't oblige. Nightshade takes us down. We were so close. And sadly, it's gonna keep going on like this. Lorelei and Bruno are never an issue. We always beat them, but Agatha is always a problem. 9 attempts later, and we get a good run. The first Gengar takes 3 Surfs, but only because Agatha keeps healing it. Golbat confuses us, but a crit Surf takes it down in 1. Haunter comes out and tries to confuse us, we hit it with Surf, and then Agatha sends out Arbok. We hit a crit Surf, and it's down straight away. Then Haunter comes back out, and we defeat it. We're through to the second Gengar with loads of health. It hits us with Nightshade, we hit it with Surf, then that happens again. One more Nightshade takes us down, but Agatha then just uses a Super Potion and we're done. Yeah, we got pretty lucky in that run, but we did it. We don't really have the options to deal with her Gengar in any other way. You'll note that we have Blizzard now, but that doesn't actually really help us out too much here. The stab damage from Surf is better, and it's 100% accuracy. It's a lot more valuable right now. Well, we've only got 2 trainers left, Lance and Bonk. We've got Ice and Water moves, so Lance shouldn't actually cause us too many issues. Well, that is of course once we're through Gyarados. It hits us hard, we keep surfing it, then Lance uses a Hyper Potion. Such a trolly bit of the fight, but we eventually get through it with 64 HP left. Dragonair takes 1 Blizzard and is destroyed. Then the same happens to the next Dragonair. Aerodactyl is weak to water, so Surf washes it away after we're bitten. Last up is Dragonite, and we're only on 31 HP, so being hit will probably end the run for us. But instead of doing anything, it just uses Barrier and Blizzard hits, taking it down straight away, and we're done with Lance on the first try. Gyarados is a massive problem here, so if we have to come back, that will be the blocker. We might need to figure out a better way of dealing with it, but I don't quite know how we would do that. Hopefully this is the last time we see Lance though. And that's because the run has been leading towards this. The final battle with Bonk. Let's do this! First up, Pidgeot. I kick off with Acid Armor, which actually might be the first time I've ever used it in this entire run, and maybe just ever. And wait, where'd Vaporeon go? What the hell? Anyway, Pidgeot hits us a couple of times as we use Acid Armor some more, then smash it with a Blizzard. Alakazam doesn't actually do anything to us. We Body Slam, it's paralyzed. Bonk then uses a full restore. We Body Slam again, it reflects. We Body Slam again, and then we're through to Rhydon. Weird. Anyway, Rhydon gets hit with Surf and it's done. Super quick and easy and simple. Now, Gyarados I'm not sure about. It was tough facing Lances, and it'll be tough facing Bonks. I tried Blizzard, but it misses. We're leered at, and then we hit with Blizzard, but it doesn't take it down. It misses the next Leer, and then we hit with the Body Slam, and we're through. Next is the big Fire Dog, and Surf takes it out immediately. Man, we're actually looking really good for Venusaur. I think we might be able to do this. We go for Blizzard, but Razor Leaf hits us, and we're taken way down. Well, let's see what Blizzard can do, and oh, balls, not enough. Yeah, okay, I don't know how we win this. Yeah, we don't. Oh, bugger. Well, unfortunately, it takes a while for us to get to Bonk again. And you know why? Agatha. Bloody Agatha. Ugh. Well, after 3 more attempts, we get through her, and then Gyarados completely wrecks us, so we need to do it again. Ugh. Right, well, 4 more attempts later, and Agatha's done, and then Lance is done. Okay, let's see what we can do against Bonk now. I really don't want to have to go through all of this again. The battle starts off pretty much the same as before against Pidgeot, but this time Alakazam hits us before we take it out. Rhydon is quickly dispatched, and then we're on to Gyarados. Gyarados hits us once with Dragon Rage, and it takes 3 Body Slams to take it down. Then the big Fire Dog comes out, and we hit it with a Surf. Now on to my nemesis, Venusaur. Razor Leaf might actually totally destroy us here. We'll see. I go for Blizzard, and ooh, okay, it's going for Solar Beam. That might actually be really bad. Well, alright, let's see what happens, and oh, alright then, that'll do. Well, crit Blizzard, and we've won. Well, bloody hell, that was unexpected. But we did it. Yeah, we got through the whole game, and we didn't actually do that many fights throughout the whole thing. At the very least, not many more than we had to. We didn't have to grind at all, and that's completely different to what we've seen with other Pokemon. A few extra fights, sure, but nothing excessive. And this did cause some issues within the run where extra levels might have been nice, but it did prove how powerful Vaporeon is. Which brings us to the question at hand. Is Vaporeon the best evolution in Gen 1? Well, yeah, I guess it is. It's able to get through the whole game a lot quicker than the other two. Don't look at the time on there, I get distracted and start doing other things and forget to pause. Sure, there were stumbling blocks, but it felt like there were parts of the game where Vaporeon could just blast through anything with no issues whatsoever. The moves it ends with are so powerful, and it can deal with lots of different types of trainers. There is another question though, and I think this is an important one. Which EEVEELUTION did I prefer? Well, in all honesty, Jolteon. The variety of Jolteon's moveset paired with its high speed was amazing. If it wasn't for Brock at the very start, Jolteon might have stormed through as well as Vaporeon. High speed is ridiculous in Gen 1, and being able to take on the Elite Four with such ease, I think really put it ahead of Vaporeon at the very end. Well, with that, we bring an end to this mini-series. Next time I see you, we'll have journeyed far away from Kanto, and I'm going to see what we can do in Johto. If you like this video, give it a like, and you know, if you fancy it, subscribe. We're going to be doing more challenge runs in the future, and you might be interested in watching them. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.